Good morning. I am Dr. Grace Wright, President of the Association of Women in Rheumatology and consultant rheumatologist in New York City, USA. Welcome to day 3 of this year's ACR Daily Highlights podcast. Here's a look at some of the content to keep an eye on today. So starting with RA, there are 2 insightful posters from the RA Diagnosis, Manifestations, and Outcomes Poster 3 session that I want to highlight. First up is Jerome Avouak's presentation on the impact of JAK inhibitors on interstitial lung disease in RA patients. This includes data from a national multi-center observational study via the MAGIC SFR registry. Really interesting findings here, not to be missed. Next, we have Elizabeth Dent's presentation on the effects of anti-obesity medications in RA patients. It's really always fascinating to see how managing comorbidities like obesity can influence RA outcomes. Really a new path for us to understand and explore further in rheumatology. Shifting gears to psoriatic arthritis, Monday brings us highlights on a range of therapies. In the SPA, including PSA diagnosis, manifestations, and outcomes poster 3 session, 3 presentations stand out. Leahy Etter evaluates guselkumab's domain-specific efficacy through a post-hoc analysis of 3 phase 3 studies. Andre Lucas Ribeiro presents data showing that combining biological and targeted synthetic DMARDs may be a promising strategy for treatment of psoriatic arthritis. Then Irene van der Horst Bruinsma assesses low uveitis rates in patients with axial spondyloarthritis and psoriatic arthritis treated with bimekizumab. But that's not all. In the SPA, including PSA treatment poster 3 session, fellow IMID steering committee member Phil Meese has 3 noteworthy posters. The first looks at improvements in pain-associated biomarkers with deucravacitinib in patients with PSA from the phase 2 IM011-084 study. And the second updates us on the long-term safety and efficacy of bimekizumab in patients with axSpA and PSA. And the final poster reports 2-year results on sustained improvements in pain and fatigue in bimekizumab-treated patients across 2 phase 3 studies. Continuing with PSA, the abstract session, SPA, including PSA treatment 2, features some fantastic work from our IMID steering committee members. Ian McInnes presents a phase 2 trial assessing the safety and efficacy of sonelokimab in patients with active psoriatic arthritis. And Philip Meese returns to share phase 2 data in zasocitinib, focusing on remission achievement and disease activity improvements in PSA patients. Lastly, the SPA, including PSA treatment poster 3 session, also has some great axSpA presentations I would like to highlight. Marina McGray reports on mental health and associated disorders from bimekizumab trials, a very important aspect of patient care. And Leanne Gensler discusses the value of absence of objective signs of inflammation as an alternative to ASDAS inactive disease as a measure of remission. And that concludes my top picks for the posters, abstracts, and presentations for ACR 2024. I hope our highlights were informative to you all. So don't forget to visit imidforum.com to view all our Congress content and keep an eye out for our Congress Review podcast coming soon, where these data and more will be reviewed by myself and my colleagues, Atul Deyadar and Philip Meese.